Have you ever baked a cake, gathered all of your ingredients, mixed up all the batter, and stuck the cake in the oven, only to realize you forgot to include the very ingredients that will make the cake rise? Fundraising is kind of like that. A lot of people think fundraising successfully only has two ingredients. One, a donation page to collect donations, and two, an ask, the message you use to ask for donations on that donation page. People and organizations launch fundraising pages and post about them on social media, and then get confused and frustrated when very few donations come in. What are they missing? It turns out several ingredients, 5 actually. But don't worry, we're going to cover each of them one at a time in this 5th video of our Changemaker Cafe Fundraising 101 series. Get your notepad ready because you might want to write these down. Or you can just download our fundraising series action guide at changemakercafe.com. We've got some handy tips and resources for you there too. As always, thank you to Click and Pledge for sponsoring this series. Ready? Let's get curious. Warning, watching Changemaker Cafe may lead to side effects such as caring a lot, an insatiable desire to help others, growing your skills to change the world, or becoming a leader in your community. For best results, use an open mind and share with all your friends. I can tell you're super excited to learn what our 5 ingredients of successful fundraising are. All right, I'll tell you. Let's start with ingredient number 1, a clear mission and message. Can you guess what the most important word is in this item? If you said clear, congratulations. The simple fact of the matter is people don't donate when they can't understand what they're donating to. So your job before you start fundraising is to be able to explain your mission and goals very clearly. A clear and compelling fundraising message will answer 3 questions. 1, what is the need? In other words, the community problem that needs to be addressed. 2, what is your organization or cause doing about the problem? And 3, why is funding needed and how will it be used? You can't assume everyone knows a problem exists or that they understand why it's a problem. First, you'll need to share credible data, evidence that the problem exists, and stories about the people or animals impacted by the problem in order to demonstrate the need. We'll go into a bit more detail about how to do this in our Fundraising 101 video about how to create your case for support coming up soon. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss that. Okay, second, you'll need to explain how your organization or project plans to address or is already addressing this need. People want to support a concrete plan they understand. That's that clarity thing again. So let's say you aim to help homeless dogs find homes. In your research, you've identified the need. There is an estimated 200 homeless dogs in your city shelter, but you want to start small. So you figure that you can help 20 dogs to start. Now, let's say you've also identified in your research that the biggest barrier to getting these dogs adopted is that the dogs seem fearful or unsocial. And your research indicates that if you can start a dog training program with skilled trainers, you can turn things around for them. So the need is, there are 20 homeless dogs in your city shelter who are not getting adopted because they seem fearful. And your plan to solve this is, you'll start a dog training program to help socialize the dogs. You know what? I wasn't going to do this now, but I'm kind of feeling it. I'm curious, what community and social problems are you out there trying to solve? Let's go ahead and do our Changemaker Challenge. I'd love for you to share the community need that you want to address and your plan for how you'll address it. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just think it's great to get our wheels turning, and I really look forward to checking those out. Okay. To answer that 3rd question in your fundraising message, why is funding needed and how will it be used? You need to prepare your 2nd ingredient for successful fundraising, which is a realistic goal. Beginner and experienced fundraisers alike set concrete fundraising goals because having a goal builds momentum and a sense of urgency when you fundraise. Now, most of the time, these goals are influenced by their nonprofit's annual budget and the different categories of funding they've identified they need for different things throughout the year, like specific project or program funding or operational funding or an investment in new technology. The basic formula for setting a fundraising goal is, quite simply, the sum of all costs that need to be covered to meet the need. Of course, some needs and the operations required to meet those needs may be bigger than others. To determine this, research costs for everything that will be needed to reach your impact, then add them all up. And be careful not to underestimate the costs. It's better to account for everything that's needed and be a little over than to not do so and have insufficient funds for your initiative. Using our dog training program example, you might have direct costs like hiring professional dog trainers or renting space for dog training and supplies and treats for dogs. You might also have indirect costs like the website to collect funds for the project, marketing and outreach costs, or even thank you cards for donors. These are just a few examples. If you're starting out in fundraising and you find that your first goal is more than a few $1,000s, you might consider scaling back your initiative to try for a smaller goal first. So let's say you determine, after adding up all of your costs for this project, that the total amount is going to be $10,000. Now, you can incorporate this into your clear mission and message. It might sound something like this. There are 20 homeless dogs in our city shelter who are not getting adopted because they seem fearful. By raising $10,000, we can increase their chances of finding a home by starting a dog training program with professional dog trainers specializing in fearful dogs. Now, you need somewhere to share your fabulous message and goal. So it's time to set up our third ingredient of a successful fundraising initiative, the right technology. At minimum, you will need a website and a payment processing system, which is usually part of a fundraising platform. And you'll want to make sure that the fundraising platform you choose makes at least 3 things easy: donating, customizing, and tracking. Your platform should make it easy to donate. Complex or hard-to-use donation pages can and do cause would-be donors to give up and turn away. You want your platform to make it easy for you to customize the pages with images and stories and your brand colors, because those elements will be what help inspire donors to follow through. And finally, your platform needs to be able to track donations. Not only because you want to be able to know how close you are to reaching your fundraising goal, but also because you'll need to acknowledge and thank your donors later. If you're looking for an option that will let you grow your fundraising efforts beyond just one project or campaign, check out Click and Pledge, the sponsor of this Fundraising 101 series. Click and Pledge is a comprehensive fundraising platform for nonprofits ready to raise money and grow their impacts. They have a ton of robust fundraising features like donation forms, in-person fundraising features, text to give, peer-to-peer fundraising that allows you to send out your supporters to form teams and raise money in their networks, video fundraising with donation links embedded directly in your videos, donor outreach tools to improve donor retention, a complete Salesforce integration, and many other integrations too. Okay, so some fundraising platforms are going to charge more based on your organization size or the size of your donor list, but not Click and Pledge. Their pricing is going to stay the same even as your donor list increases. There are no contracts, and all of their solutions are included at no additional cost. I'm going to leave the information to learn more about Click and Pledge's fundraising solutions and even get a first month free down below this video. So feel free to check that out. Get in contact with their team, ask any questions, schedule a demo, or if you're ready, sign up and give it a try right now. Okay, so now you've got your message, you've set your goal, you've got your fundraising platform ready to go. So where are all the donors? Now we need our fourth ingredient, an interested audience. Here is where a lot of people get fundraising wrong. They put out their mission and their webpage and expect donations to just kind of magically happen, but donations usually don't come in until you've built an audience that cares, because people rarely donate to organizations they don't know or trust yet. So you've got to start by building your audience, and you're going to start with your own network, your friends, your family, your colleagues, or your neighbors. Get active on social media and create a form so that people can opt in to your email list so that you can keep people engaged and up to date. You're going to start growing your email list and your audience following at this point. On social media, post stories and educational facts about your cause to help get people interested. You can ask civic groups or clubs if you can come share your mission through speaking engagements or attend networking events to start meeting people. You're going to want to invite people you talk to on social through speaking or networking to go ahead and opt in to that email list you set up so that they can learn more. Over time, this is going to mean you're building an audience of people who want to hear more about what you're trying to accomplish. That's your interested audience. With an audience primed to hear more from you, it's time to use your other ingredients, your clear message and your fundraising goal, to launch your first fundraising campaign. You're going to share your initiative and the amount you need to raise. Let's say it's the $10,000 goal that we mentioned before for the dog training program. How much will each person need to donate to reach your goal? Consider this, that on average, maybe 5 to 10% of your audience will actually follow through and donate. So if you have 500 people on your email list and 10% of them donate, that means that each person would need to donate about $200 to reach your goal of $10,000. The final ingredient for successful fundraising is an engagement plan. Your engagement plan is your strategy to keep your supporters interested and engaged for the long haul. After all, now that you've built an audience and raised some funding, you'll want to keep the fundraising going so you can do even more good, yeah? To keep your audience engaged, you'll want to be thanking your donors right away so that they know that their gift mattered. You're going to want to share the impacts of their donations, how many people or families or animals were helped, and what are the stories of those whose lives were improved because of their support. Providing regular updates, perhaps once per month, about your mission and how they can stay involved, such as through volunteering or sharing your cause with their friends, can really make a difference. Donors are human beings who, like you, want to know that their support mattered. So make sure that you show them. In our next video in our Fundraising 101 series, we'll talk through how to identify your fundraising target audience. Who's going to fund all this good stuff? Individual donors, companies, the government. We'll talk through how to tailor your strategy to get the right supporters. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss it and other lessons in our series. And I'll see you next time for the next episode of Changemaker Cafe.